I don't necessarily disagree, Dan. I agree that it won't be this year. I agree that they are certain they're building something. They're getting pieces in place. Obviously, they're missing the most important part. And that, I mean, me personally, I'm not a Jared Goff believer. I think he's just the Band-Aid, but it's the sort of thing that, like, if they're able to land an established quarterback or somebody that we know can play, suddenly the Lions become very interesting, right? Because all of the surrounding pieces are kind of like Denver, right? The Denver Broncos. The defense was strong. They have some crazy good weapons in place with Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, and all those guys. And now all of a sudden Russell Wilson comes into the picture, and now the Broncos are like, okay, that's a legitimate team. I'm not saying Detroit is Denver, but you're right that they're absolutely building something there where if they get a competent signal caller in place, suddenly they become very interesting. To answer your question about who I'm most worried about in this year, it would be Minnesota. I'm always worried about Minnesota because they've had pieces in place to be dangerous for quite a while, and they just never can seem to quite get over that hump. But an offense with, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins is a very capable quarterback. I think he gets a lot of hate and a lot of people, like, he's kind of a little bit of a scapegoat, and he's much better than I think people realize as an NFL quarterback. Long term, and I know now we're just going around the whole horn, but long term, Justin Fields is a very talented quarterback. Whether or not he's going to be able to put it all together remains to be seen. Obviously, last year was kind of it wasn't great. It wasn't pretty by any means. But if he's able to take a year 2 leap, that's going to be very concerning for me as a Packers fan. Long term is whether or not the Bears can build. Now, I think their draft just set them back. Well, most of their draft was pretty solid, but the Velus Jones pick was, I don't know what happened there. But I think it's the sort of thing where we know that the clock is ticking on the Packers, right? We have whatever's left of Aaron Rodgers' window, and after that, we're probably going to have to press the reset button, where meanwhile, the Lions are building. The Bears might have a franchise quarterback in place. The Vikings, they're going to be kind of stuck in some sort of purgatory soon because Kirk Cousins probably isn't going to be the long-term answer either. So it's, the arrow's pointing up on the Packers, but we know that soon it's going to start pointing down where all the other teams are going to start nipping at the heels a little bit.
Yeah.